Okay, fellers. Seem to have a problem with my phone trying to focus. Anyway, we're working on this. It's a Craftsman 14 horse, twin opposed, and working on it for a customer. He had taken this engine out, and gave it to me, and was going to put a overhead valve single cylinder in the machine he was working on. He figured out that it needed a fuel pump in order to, because the gas tank was under the seat. This one has the fuel. These style engines have the fuel pump built right onto the carburetor. However, I have seen some 18 opposed that don't even use this part. They just use a remote fuel pump. So anyway, when he figured out he needed a fuel pump to run that single cylinder, he didn't want to go through the hassle of getting one for it and hooking that one up. So he asked for this one back, and being the nice guy I am, I said, yeah, sure, fine. So we worked out a deal, and I'm rebuilding the carburetor for him, or regasketing it, cleaning it up, rebuilding the fuel pump, all that jazz, so he can drop it right in. And I'm changing the oil, which is draining as we speak. So that's why it's on the stand. And so there's a couple things. When I took this apart, I first noticed that there was a spring. There was supposed to be a spring here, which wasn't there. And then I found, trying to do this while I'm looking at what you guys are seeing. This is how the gasket was put in there, just like this, which is ass backwards. It's supposed to be put in with this side on the outside. So this part right here, so you see this. So anyway, he's got it ass backwards. This part, the gasket part, is supposed to be on the outside of this, which he didn't do. No, this piece here, which has, supposed to have a spring, little pumper spring in here. This is how I found it, with this piece in here like that. That doesn't go there, because this will go on here, something like that. You can see the spring was all screwed up. There's you'll see when I put it all together, but the guys that know these Briggs carburetors know that this piece goes on top of the spring. So let's say the spring, I'm trying to get this, say the spring sits in here, right? Then this goes on top of it, the spring, and then the gasket goes on top of that with a spring. Oops, another spring. That doesn't matter, I got a different one. Another spring sits on this perch here, little tiny spring. The same kind of spring that's supposed to sit on this little perch. So somebody had their fingers in this thing and screwed it all up, which is what it is. I have no idea if this thing ran or not. No clue. I just got done cleaning everything out. There's Dang it, this way this light is screwing everything up that I want to show you. Oh yeah! Of course that frickin' thing's got to go off. Sorry for the foul language, or sort of foul. Just irritates me. Well, let's see where this little jet here goes down in through there. It goes through a hole in the side here. There's a nut or a bolt that covers this. So you go through that little hole and it goes in there. I already took it out, cleaned it out. Kind of weird. It's Allen. Takes an Allen wrench to get that out. Usually it's screw head. Anyway, let's start on this. I'm going to put you in the holder and we'll get going, okay? All right. First things first, we're going to put this little guy back in. So try to get it to stay on there. Goes in there like that. Screw it back in. Let's give it a little crank. This is the, I'm going to make sure you guys see it. This is the piece that goes in there like that. Covers that up. This is a good way to drain, like if you're storing it for the winter or whatever. And you can just drain the gas out right through here if you want to. And out of the carburetor for the winter and call her done. So I kind of like that. You know, these opposed twins are good engines. Welcome to Chris Farley's shop. Anyway, fuel pump pieces all over the place. That's great. That's awesome. Why don't I just throw it all on the floor? So, I gotta see what. Okay, you guys are kind of seeing it. And I've got some new fuel pump pieces here, so I believe goes in there like that. Okay, and this little piece I've cleaned out too. Goes in like, okay, I should get a close-up of this. Little notch here, okay. There's one here too, but it doesn't matter for this application. And there's a notch over here. All right. See how these little lines and stuff, they kind of match the outline of this gasket, right? Well, then the cutouts fit that and this. It's probably a different application that has one here, but we won't have to worry about that on this one. So that goes on there like that. Hoping you guys are still. I should try to belly you up a little more so you can try and get a better vision of what I'm trying to do. All right. And there's a little tiny spring. In fact, I think it's made of copper or something. At least it's copper colored. Drop that down in there. They're really hard to work with because they're really, really fine. Having a hard time picking it up. Okay, see, it's on there now. And we need a bunch of stuff stuck in our big spring. How did this happen? I swear to God, they do this stuff to me on purpose. All right. The spring goes in there like that. This drops on there like that. Okay. Here's our next gasket piece, which oops. No. Don't worry, guys, I'll figure it out one way or another. There we go. Goes on there like that. Now, you'd have to try and put it all together while holding the springs in and everything. Not even sure I should film that, because should it go bad, bad things might come out of my mouth. Might take a few times to get it right. And then this is going to be another hard part. Oh, let's see, you guys can't see what I'm doing. Okay. Try to bring you over so you can see that little nub there. I have another tiny little copper colored spring. It goes on there like that. Okay. Jeez, I just about spilled the whole thing again. Idiot! Anyway, so I have to get the bolts or the screws that hold it together. They're around here somewhere. I have to find them. Hang on a second. All right, I'm going to try and tempt this. Try and hold everything together. Don't want to tighten it yet because the other guy's got to get in there first. Make sure you have all the gasket, screw holes are lined up and all that good happy stuff. Which I'm not sure this bottom one is. We're going to try this. Apparently it had mix and match screws. You know, the two are originals, but this one's not. So no idea if the screw is going to work or not. So far it's not working and doesn't want to go in. There we go. We'll see if that, yep, it's going in. This one, not so sure about. Oh, yeah, it's going in. I think you guys are too close for me to use my nut driver. You know what? This bottom one, I don't like it. I don't like the way it's going in. Maybe it's where this one was when I took it apart. I don't know. Maybe the threads are... So maybe this one put different threads over here, or that, or the the gasket holes. I got to get a light on the subject in there to see exactly. Oh look, my light don't work now. Worked a minute ago. Doesn't work now though. Alright, let's use a different one then. I gotta undo this one a little bit. Hopefully the little copper colored springs don't come out, you know. Okay. I was right. The gasket isn't quite lining up, so I have to undo the top one. Have to get a little more tools. More tools. How many tools does it take to rebuild a carburetor? Get you a little pick. Well, this is going to be tough. I kind of need 3 hands here. Any of you guys want to come over here and help me? Oh, wait. I think I got it. I think I got her. Well, I tell you, these picks save your butt sometimes. If you don't have one, get one. Yeah, I can see already. I don't know where they must have, maybe they had that, the screw's too long, it's already tightening up. I have a feeling they might have had it up here. So, I'm going to tighten this bottom, not tight, just snug it up. I'm going to take this one out because it's bottomed out. I probably have another screw, you know, factory screw, but I don't know how long it's going to take for me to find it, so we're just going to swap it out with this guy. Because it's open. This is probably where it was. It's open back here so the screw can come out. It shouldn't be in the way. If it is in the way when we put the top of the carb on, well, then we'll have to find a factory one. For now, I'm putting this one in. Well, things are going well today. You don't want to go too crazy, you just want to get her good and snug, you know. Okay, it's I don't know, 40-ish outside today. It's better than what I thought it was going to be. It was only in the 20s yesterday, and the wind was howling like crazy. And I could, let me take you out of here for a second. I could, you know, I'm in the bubble today, but I don't have this part down. I put this part down, that tarp there, unfurl it down, and fire up this bad boy. I opted not to do that today. In the garage, it's on the dirty bench top. Thermometer says 44 maybe. So it's not horrible, but my toes are starting to get cold. I lose feeling in my fingers because I've had frostbite out here so many times. And I see something keeps getting in my shot that I want to show you. Just going to take a quick break here from the carb rebuild. I did some horse trading last weekend. I had a Craftsman Snowblade that I was not using, and it was only used like once, so it was like brand new shape. Guy wanted that, didn't want to pay me, so what he did is he gave me this 16 horsepower V-twin Vanguard. Yes sirree. Not sure what it was off of. I'm guessing it was a snapper because it's got this goofy exhaust on it. I'd never seen an exhaust like that on a Vanguard. Kind of weird. And judging from the oil filter, I would say that the oil hasn't been changed in some time. It has the recoil on it, which is, I can't even imagine what that's like, try and start this thing by hand, but it's got the electric starter too down here. So yeah, it's all there. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped about that. This thing's worth way more than what that blade was worth. So hey, I'll take it. I'll do it. Pretty happy. Now, let's get back to our regular scheduled program here, right? Okay, well, let me pause you. Okay, fellers. Now, before I came back, oh, here it is. All right, this is the top piece, and I have to put the gasket goes on first, and then the bowl and all that. I'm doing this to make sure everything's clean. All the gaskets love sticking on here, so make sure it's all cleaned off. And the rebuild kit comes with quite a few different gaskets. So if your gasket is somewhat one piece, you want to, kind of match it up to the gaskets that are in there. This one came out in little bits and pieces. It broke all to hell. So I had to kind of, not guess, but just figure out which one. Like I knew it had the 3 holes. And obviously the 3 holes here and a hole here. So I kind of matched it up with what was left out of the other carb. And used my best judgment for the rest. So. Now, here is our, looks like an onion ring, don't it? Anyway, the kit comes with a new pin and a new, of course it's all wrapped up into a different spring. Ha ha ha. Everything's playing a joke on me today. So, comes with these 2 pieces, right? Okay, well, I'm going to slip that in there like that. Put this in here like this. Okay. That goes down. Of course, everything wants to turn. Why doesn't it just stay where I put it? Now, take your new, probably has a different term, I don't know, I call it a float pin. And try your damnedest, try to get that in there. Here we go. We're in there like swimwear. Alright, so that's how that should look. Right? And still got my eye on this screw here that's sticking out. We'll see if it's in the way or not. I also got to, let's see. Alright. Drop it down like that. Oh yeah, whoops. Kidding me? Come on, Dave. You knew that, right? Yeah, I have plenty of room here, so not a problem. This little piece was on top. I have the dropsies still. Listen, I have the dropsies today with some things because, like I was saying, I've had frostbite on my fingers so much when they start getting cold, I can't really feel anything. So, I believe that went in there like that. You know, it's hard to do with you guys there because I kind of need to work. Did that even? Seems like that'd be too. Oh no, it did. What did I do with these now? I have to find those screws. Hang on. Okay, so I'm sitting here talking to myself thinking you guys were on, and you weren't. Boy, I tell you, I'm so professional sometimes, it's just sickening. So, just kind of go around, just snug them first, you know, not even really snug, just get them to where they just start getting snug. And then when they're all there, just go crossways. Okay. Next thing to be put on would be this gasket. Just goes on there like that. Always make sure this little part goes right here. We're going to wait. In fact, you guys probably won't even see that part. But what you do when you put the gasket down, and then there's what is there? 2 or 3 screws that go in here and hold this down. I think there's some missing out of this particular. You guys can't even see it. This is the air filter housing. I'm not even sure I'm going to use this one yet. But when you bolt it down, make sure this is inside. This is for the top. Make sure that's